Hello, Brenda Smith-Keene, Dancing for Him Ministries Level 2 student. Janine Durning is my AP. This is my March worship study and activation from the Worshiping Bride. I am doing chapter 4. And chapter 4 is the Principles of Praise. This book is by Wesley Scott Amos. And Mr. Amos points out in this chapter there are 10 principles that he gives to us. There are 2 of those principles. All the principles are good, but there are 2 that significantly stood out to me, which was 4 and 8. Number 4 talks about that we are not here to be blessed. We are here to be a blessing. In other words, we are here in service to God. We are here to give and not to get. However, number 8 brings back to us that when we do truly worship God, it is a blessing to us. When we open our hearts up to God, He gives us His sufficient praise. So that's the reality of true worship. In the next section, Mr. Amos points out the significance of praise and worship by comparing the amount of times that it is given us a commandment in the Bible versus the essential doctrines that are there. Not that those doctrines are not important, it's just that it shows how important praise and worship is to God. And then in the last section, he talks about discerning true praise and worship and how important true worship is to God, and that it is our calling to worship God. He makes some word phrases from Psalm 95, verses 1 through 7. I want to read the actual verses to you, and then my activation will be from his word phrases. So Psalm 95, 1 through 7, and the whole chapter is a call to worship and obedience. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into His presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to Him with songs of praise. For the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. In His hand are the depths of the earth. The heights of the mountains are His also. The sea is His, for He made it, and the dry land which His hands have formed. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for He is our God, and we are the people of His pasture, and the sheep of His hand. Oh, that today you would listen to His voice. So now I'm going to do the activations off of his scriptures, off of his word phrases based off of that scriptures. And the first one is Psalm 95, 1 and 2. Then he takes Psalm 95, 3 through 5. And then the last one is Psalm 95, 6 through 7. And I'm just going to say them as I do them. I'm going to move my chair out the way, and I'm going to back up a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Enter God's presence with thanksgiving. I'm going to do that again. Enter God's presence with thanksgiving. The second one is pause to boast. Sing of God's greatness. And the last one is bow, kneel in God's presence. Thank you. I hope this has been a blessing to you. This was definitely a blessing for me, and I thank Pastor Lynn for the study that we are doing, and I thank you for taking the time to watch the video.